let me say, a word in defense of reason in dialogue with faith.
Because faith is that proof. Faith unites us to that substance.
But reason, in order to realize its full potential, needs the horizons revealed by and truths contained in the faith. And not just any faith, but the Catholic faith.
You know, when I had a spiritual awakening way back in the 70s, and it brought me into the Protestant. I went into Protestant churches because all the volume and the exuberance and I don't know, there was energy there, and they had the Bible, and I learned the Bible. I started, like, till this day, when we have Mass and there's 3 readings, I know where to drop the readings in salvation history, in the story. I know where it fits, you know, I know where it belongs, and I have a good idea how to get around it, you know. And I met such great people in these different denominations, but I started getting really frustrated because you know, you get these concordances. There's like 50 sets of them for each church, you know. You know, it's like you know, and all the Bibles have different commentary. And it's like, and you know, I think back to Monsignor Peronicone, the truth, and I thought, what is truth and who has the authority to define it? So I was all over the place. I was like looking for somebody place to land. And, you know, I heard that, you know, on the envelopes at the Protestant church I was going to, I think it was Presbyterian church, it had, right on the envelopes, it had unity in the essentials, liberty in the non-essentials, and charity in all things. And I thought, wow, that's what it is, unity in the essentials. So I'm thinking on the way home, what are the essentials? Oh, well, the virgin birth, you know, I'm going through it, the crucifixion, the essential. Then I found out it was St. Augustine who said it, and the essentials were the Eucharist and authority. Those two weren't in the mix. They were nowhere in the essentials, in my essentials. So I started asking, what's the essentials? Everybody had different essentials. So unity in the essentials. So, I was watching Marcus Grodi on EWTN. When was it, like 1996? That's when I came into the church. John Haas, an Episcopal priest, was on his program. I'm not going to go through the story, but it was fabulous. I was just, that's what's missing. That right there. Authority. I never saw it. I never saw it, you know, and it just, I mean, it was like heaven opened up for me. The angels and the saints started singing. I walked into a Catholic church, man. I just felt like, talk about surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. It was like, hallelujah. He got it. The kid from the Bronx. Look at him. Anyway, it was a Saturday, you know. Yeah. Thank God for EWTN. They really make sure some good information gets out there. And, you know, that's when I heard of Scott Hahn. So I said, I got to get this guy. And I was talking to a friend of mine in Rhode Island. He said, I'll get you his number. So I called him. And, wow, he sent me some stuff. And the objections just started falling like dominoes. You know, I have friends in my I have bright guys that were in church, my friends, my community. I started sharing with them. They said, well, even Catholics could be right on one thing. Get me more of this. So I asked Scott for another book and another book. You know, they started coming in. They said, wow, you know, it was like, it started making sense, you know, because there's so many misconceptions. You know that you've heard it, I'm sure, so many times that, you know, there's millions of people who hate the Catholic Church, but they don't really know what it teaches. I didn't know. I had no idea. I had no idea how beautiful it was. It's so different standing in the center of it, looking out than being on the outside, like hitting it and cursing it and kicking at it and yelling at it. And, and I thought I was so smart. I remember I was in a meeting one time and I said to somebody, I was anti-Catholic, and this guy said, ooh, I was never that smart. And I said, Steve, where'd you hear that? He said, I don't know, I was just never that smart. Yeah. I thought it was brilliant, it was like. Anyway, I walked right into the confessional, and Father Joe was there, and I don't know, when I go to confession, I'm so used to the 12-step thing, looking people in the eye, that I just walk in. I like to look the priest in the eye and tell him, and I said, Father, do you know, I said, I thought I loved the Lord. I said, I do love the Lord, but I've been anti-Catholic. I've been like abusing Catholics and like really resent and arguing and really like in rebellion with the body of Christ. And I'm like, he's like, thank God, stand up, kid. He gives me a hug. He says, welcome home, Dion. He says, welcome home.